We're celebrating Kenny Gamble. How did you meet Leon Huff?
One day I'm coming into the building, right? And I'm getting on the elevator, and Huff was in there. I'd never seen him in the building before. I'd never seen him. So there wasn't that many African Americans in the building at all. So I made him just started talking. I said, man, what are you doing in here? So he said he was working with another production team on the second floor called Madeira and White. And Dave Whitewood happened to be one of Danny and the Juniors. Okay, Johnny Madeira was a real good business person, whatever. So we just talked a little bit. He said, I play the piano and trying to write songs and I want to get in the music business. I said, man, I want to do the same thing. I said, but I write lyrics. And so we decided, I said, well, let's get together one day. So I went over his house in Camden. He lived in Camden, New Jersey. I went over Huff's house one Saturday. He had a piano. We must have wrote 5 or 6 songs, within a couple hours. And so it was like a miracle because we both said, hey, and they sounded pretty good. I mean, these songs sounded pretty good. So we decided to get together again. And then Huff and I wrote some songs for the Orleans. That's when Cameo Parkway was still down on Broad Street. And we kept writing and we were starting to really make a lot of progress because it was easier to write for me with Huff, and I think it was easier for him because he was a keyboard player and I'm a lyricist. So if you have to play the piano and write the lyrics or play the guitar and write the lyrics, it's harder. Plus it expanded my my musical, I guess you say, my musical field because Huff was a master keyboard player. And so, we had a band called the Romeos, Kenny Gamble and the Romeos, which Tommy Bell was in the band first. And then Tommy got out because he went to go to work. And Huff took his place. Huff said, man, I got to get that band, Mm-hmm. So then he was in the band. And so we were working together, And so me and Huff became real good friends. And we had the same dreams about the music business. And so when we started working with the Intruders, Huff was already working with the Intruders. Him and Leroy Lovett was already working with it. And the Intruders was my favorite group. They were my favorite group. When I was in high school, I used to say, I said, these guys, I love them, the Intruders. I used to love Little Sonny's voice, and they had great harmony. And so so when I seen the Intruders in there working with Huff and Leroy one day, I said, boy, this is great. So we found out that they didn't have a contract and everything and whatever. So once we started working with the Intruders, the first record we did with the Intruders was called I'm Going to Be Strong. And it did pretty good, especially here in Philly and Baltimore and Washington, because the Intruders had a little name. And then after that, we recorded with the Intruders. What do we have? We had United, which is a great one. Even today, it sounds good on the radio. And then we did Together. These were all like regional hits. They weren't big national hits, but like New York, Cleveland, Baltimore, Washington, and then all of a sudden, me and Huff, we were writing one night over his place, and we came up with Cowboys to Girls. So we got to come up with something different, something unique, And so Cowboys to Girls and Intruders was perfect for that, with their sound and everything. And that was our first big gigantic record. Along with that same time period, we were working with the Soul Survivors. So we had a song called The Expressway. So we had The Expressway and Cowboys to Girls, and it seemed like everything exploded all at one time.
How did it come across with I'll Always Love My Mama?
I'll Always Love My Mama? Oh, wow. That was, man, that was a time when I saw Huff, the writers on I Always Love My Mama is Gamble, Huff, and McFadden and Whitehead. I was coming in the office one day, and Huff and McFadden and Whitehead was working on this song. I said, boy, that's a good one. I said, I got to get in on it. You know what I mean? So we started writing, and the lyrics of that song, they fit my life. you know, because my mother used to work hard every day. So I was writing about my mother, you know what I mean? I guess Huff was writing about his mother, but I was writing about how my mother worked hard every day, you know, and cleaning somebody else's house, you know, just to buy me a new pair of shoes, you know, and she never really got a good night's sleep, you know. You talk about mama, you know, so it was that was a song from the heart, you know what I mean? And I Always Love My Mama is a classic, I mean, because every Mother's Day you hear it all over the world. People play it, you know. So in the Intruders, hey, listen, I like the long version when they start talking about how they grew up in Little Sonny and Bird, you know. Yeah, that was and if you had to ask me what was my favorite, it was my favorite group or favorite artist that we work with, I'd have to say the Intruders, you know, because they were there when we were just getting started, and it was the spark from them that made me and Huff who we are today.